So today we're going to go over, with Coach Mickey here and myself, we're going to go over a whole flow from side control, and we're going to do piece by piece. So the first one we're going to show is what we call a top wrist lock, also known as an Americana, but we're going to show you a bunch of different grips and a bunch of different things that make it a little different from what I guess a lot of people do. We do things a little different here, all right? So check this out. Coach Mickey's going to lay down and I'm going to crank him up a little bit, right? So look, rather than going in for this top wrist lock or Americana, by grabbing the wrist and placing it down here, and then getting my elbow up here and lifting and all that stuff. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to adjust some of the things, my hand grip, how I grip, where I place my elbow. That's going to make it way tighter, almost to the point where I can't put it on, especially with Mr. Muscle shoulders over here. Right? I left all mine at home. So when I grab here, I'm going to first of all grab with what we call the forefinger grip. Our four fingers are together here, our thumb is by itself, or some people call it the C grip. And I'll do it right on the palm of his hand, right? Leverage-wise, this is where I want to go. You wrestle with somebody with shoulders like him, and I grab here, and he starts to push back. This is tough. When I go here, and I push, I'm a little better off, right? So when I push this to the floor, and I get my elbow to the floor, and I have control of his hand, I can now take his hand and I can turn it out, palm out. And you'll see here, rather than here, look how far his elbow can go down. But when I turn it this way, that's about it. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to hit everything else is the same. I grab here, I'm palm to palm using my thumb. I turn it out and I slide my elbow down and it's on that fast. Right? So rather than just grabbing that wrist, I want to grab a little higher. And what that also is going to give us when I grab here, not only, we can also hold hands here too, it's fun. When I grab up here and I start to go here, maybe I'm having trouble getting this to the floor and there's the battle here, I can always go here and hit the inverted wrist lock, right? So that's always a possibility too. And this one sucks right here. So I get it down, my elbow's against his neck. I like to offset his neck a little bit here too, right? The more aligned he is, the stronger he is. So I move his neck a little bit, I turn his palm out, I come underneath, and then I keep my head down, I pull this all the way down, and I get the tap. And you can see I don't even, and even with people that have more flexible shoulders, a lot of times that once I get that elbow to his hip, and that's all locked up with the turn of the wrist, and the bend of the wrist backwards this way, and that grip all the way up on the hand, it's super tight. And then I only have to lift my elbow a tiny little bit, as opposed to grabbing the wrist, fighting that, worried about the hand going straight. So even if I grab here, so if I grab here and he straightens his arm, like he's strong here, but when I grab it here and he starts to straighten his arm, like this is very easy to hold on to. But if I go here, he straightens, that's very hard. So all of these little things, all these little hacks, right? Grabbing here, getting this, that inverted wrist lock, and sliding this down here. That's the key. The twist, hands palm to palm, and then sucking that elbow to the hip and bringing everything here. One other thing I like to talk about too, real quick, and I know this is a lot of detail for just an Americana, but I think it's important. When we're doing the lock here, I'm going to leave it open a little bit so he has a little more flexibility. I often see this stuff going on right here, and they're trying to lift everything using arm versus arm, right? What I want to see, and with our students, is when I'm here and I suck this down, then let's loosen it up a little bit. See, everything is part of one big giant piece. So when I bring that in, I'm twisting with my shoulders, with my back, using everything as opposed to me trying to use my shoulder and maybe my bicep to lift their elbow. Right? I want to use all of me against that one arm, as opposed to arm versus arm. Hopefully that makes sense. Grab the palm, twist it out, offset the head, bring it down, get the top wrist lock, also known as Americana. Make sense? Enjoy. Don't forget to like and subscribe and hit that notification button.